I came to dominate. Watch how I dominate. They tryna complicate the way I operate. No, not to
I had to realize, do I really want it? How did I want it? You know what I'm saying? I had to really develop myself into the thought process of getting better at my craft and at everything that I decided I wanted to do. So I said, you know what? I need some motivation. And you know what's better than getting motivation is doing something motivational, not just for yourself but for other people. Because you have to realize that what you may be going through, somebody else may be going through, but they might take it 10 times as harder than you do.
So if you really want it, you can come and get it. I don't ever touch niggas, man, they ain't real with it.
What's going on, everybody? We are back with the man himself has returned, King Genesis. Yo, man, how you doing, bruh?
Doing well, man. Just living life at this point, bro.
I'm talking about. Alright, so, man, Dominate's been out for how long now again?
Damn near almost a year and some change, bro.
Yeah, man. How's everything looking?
Man, talking about 400K streams off the shit. Been going up, got new singles out on site. Got more new singles coming out. I got MPD coming out next Friday. I got another one called City Lights, and then another one called Pray to God. And then I'm gonna work on my EP. It's gonna be called Rise, which is basically gonna be kind of like the struggle of what it took to get to Dominate. It's almost like Dominate the pre-story, if you really want to say it. It's kind of like, you know, where I was before I decided to do Dominate and whatnot, and gives you more of a chill, you know, vibe than, you know, Dominate, which was more high in energy. So I feel like this album is really gonna help me connect with a lot of y'all. Some of you may enjoy it, some of you may not. Some of you may like the vibe, some of you may like the, you know, lyrics, but it is what it is. So
I see you dropped like 3 videos back to back. It was I'm With It, which is probably my favorite song on that album. And you did Dominate, which was like crazy. Mm-hmm. And you have another one coming out, I believe?
Yeah, it's called Trenches. It's pretty much a crowd favorite. Everybody loves the fuck out of that song. I mean, it's crazy to think because I didn't really give it like much thought when I made it, to be honest. Because I was sitting there, I was like, yo, you know, when I first wrote the first verse, I remember I was just sitting there penning it, and then I said like this one bar, and I was like, I gotta make that stick. And so now I was like, you know, I've gone down the Savage route. I might as well just go ahead and continue on, just keep it going and whatnot. And so then everybody was like, oh my God, yo, I can't believe that. And so like it threw me off because I wasn't expecting that song to really be what it was. Everybody was like, from the hook to the verses to the content that was dropped on that song, it was crazy. So I decided to do kind of like my spin on what it was like to be in that situation where you have to be like, when it comes to Trenches, especially when you listen to it, it's like you listening to somebody who's on the grind. Like he doesn't, like, even in one of the lyrics, it's like, you know, all the old girls try to come back or whatever, and I'm like, no, I'm not really with it. You know, I'm trying to fuck with the people who really want to fuck with me, as far as, you know, making it in music and not just messing around and playing games. So it's like at the end of the day, I was in this, you know, bottomless pit, and now I'm trying to climb myself out of this along with the people that I really mess with, and they climbing at the same pace I am. So it's just crazy to think that song that, you know, I didn't really think was going to get anywhere as far as anything else goes, was one of even most people's favorite song. And every time I perform it, people are like, oh, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just keep it. I'll keep going. So it's crazy.
I could see, especially from your Ridgey Theater performance last year, I believe. Man, that was a crazy show. Tell me about that one.
Oh man, when I tell you, okay, so backstory before we get into that. A couple months previous, I ended up getting in a forklift accident where I was chilling by my forklift, came from behind me, hit me in the back, and I thought I was done. I literally I passed out and everything. I probably shouldn't even be here, to be honest, but I was able to survive. I still have a little complications with it here and there, but it's not so severe as it was before. And so one of my homeboys, he came to me and he was like, yo, you know, you should come perform it originally. And this is me still in the wheelchair, so I'm like, should I? And I was like, you know what? Fine, it is what it is. Because me and him, we haven't done a performance together in many years. So when we got together on this performance, we sold out 60 whole tickets by ourselves. I ended up hiring a little team to kind of help me though. Other than that, they did a pretty good job. They did decent. I loved it. We went up there. We killed that performance. I had a point where I was sitting down in my chair, and then I got up during one of my songs called Vision, which was a really deep, deep song. It comes from a very, very dark place. So I ended up performing and killing that. I had a bunch of people coming up to me talking about, yo, that shit was crazy. We performed a song that is off our new EP we're planning to come out with called Off the Leash, and that was insane. The love that night was just crazy. I had people for days, months, literally coming back and being like, yo, I still remember that Ridgely Theater performance. And I'm like, bro, that night was just amazing, man. That's all I can tell you. I never thought that a lot of people would show up in the first place, and all the people that did show up, even those who didn't come because of me, were so really into the performance that we were doing that it was just I didn't think I was ever going to get this kind of love. So I'm thankful for the people who did show up that day. I'm thankful for those who continue to show up to all of our performances and do whatever it takes to show us that you support us. So thank you for that, and I love it. I hope we can do another performance like that again soon.
Word. So let's rewind back. This joint EP you was just saying?
Oh man, do I have a story to tell y'all? Listen, this is what I'm going to tell you. All of Fort Worth, I need y'all to pay attention on this one. Look, there has been multiple people out there doing a lot of music. There has been multiple people who go out and go hard and do what they gotta do. I acknowledge that Fort Worth has some pretty hard artists, but this next EP, this shit is about to go wild. It is Off the Leash, as far as the EP goes, is some shit I never thought I would do in my life. In all honesty, to me, this was a really big experimental EP for me because it draws on different aspects of my strengths and shows weaknesses I never thought I had. But on top of that, I'm with probably two of the hardest artists in Fort Worth, and I put that on my life. I never thought I'd be a part of such a great project in my life, but this one is finna take over. This one is finna show that Fort Worth has something. And if you are a Fort Worth artist and you mess with any one of us who was on this EP, I suggest you really pay attention, because my boy, my girl, whoever's watching this, it's finna to go down.
Okay. Now, your new single On Sight. Tell me, how did that song come about? What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, I remember I was listening to a couple of beats. Doughboys had just released it. The same day I bought it, and I kept thinking about. At the time, I was kind of trying to see how I would do if I did bangers and stuff like that. And it was crazy because when I thought about On Sight, I kept thinking about all the people who pissed me off over the years, and just kind of making it relatable. Who doesn't feel oh, I remember when so-and-so was talking that good, and now I really just want to throw hands. And it's also kind of I don't want to be messed with kind of song, because I'm a very, chill, peaceful kind of person until I'm messed with. So after that, at that point, it's On Sight. So when I came up with it, I was like, it's on sight. Hey, it's on sight. It gives you that turn up vibe, but it's also making you feel ooh, the next mofo that mess with me really finna get this. So On Sight was a great song to me. I felt like a lot of people could really not only relate but also turn up to it. So yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about, I know you said Fort Worth has some really dope artists. What do you think about the artists as a whole in Fort Worth?
If I'm gonna be honest, because I always gotta be, I'm gonna keep it real. There is a select number of artists out here that go hard in Fort Worth. There are very few gems in the rough. Like there are those who are like really different. Like those in MDV, I really fuck with them, to be honest. They're a cold ass crew. I fuck with them heavily. There are other people like XO Phoenix, Hippie Snooks, all the people like that who we've met with and actually kind of politic with for a little bit. You know, they come to our performances. We went to theirs. We, you know, gave them props and gave them their ups. And when it comes down to it, there's a lot of artists in this city that be so close-minded and so like to themselves it don't make sense. Like there are some artists in the city that feel like they already have it, like they done made it. And I'm gonna tell you straight out the gate, if you're still in Fort Worth and you haven't left this city to do a damn thing, if you haven't performed, made a music video, made an album, EP, or single, you ain't hard for shit to me. Like half of y'all claim that you got this big ass, you know, ego that, and there's a reason behind it. Well, I'm finna make it, I'm finna do this, but half of y'all don't know what it takes to really make it in this city. Then we have people who they do know what it takes to make it in this city, but they only selective as fuck. Like they don't like to be open-minded and venture out and see what the city actually has to offer. Because I've had many run-ins with some of these big, so quote unquote, top ass veterans, and I come to them, I show them my music, or I'm like, you know, politic with me, you know what I'm saying? I send them my EPK, I send them all my stuff, and here they come back just not replying, not saying anything. It's like, bro, if you don't like my music, I'm cool with that, you know what I'm saying? Don't just sit there and then disregard everything I'm trying to give you, you know what I'm saying? We all trying to make it, we all trying to eat, and then they be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter talking about, I'm only trying to put on for my city, but here your city is asking you for help and you ain't doing shit. So if you sitting there and you saying you putting on for your city, where are you when these niggas are doing open mics? Where are you when these niggas putting on showcases, putting up their money and actually doing shit? See, if I was top dog, anybody who come to me and tell me, yo, I'm really trying to show you some shit, my nigga, I'm there. I'm putting on for my city. This is what we do. When you mess with D.I.D, MIL, Concrete, DMT, along with who's owned by DMT, you are messing with top tier people who really want to share and put your shit out there. We want you to eat at this table. Our table is huge. Everybody can take a motherfucking seat. But I'm not gonna sit here and keep letting these motherfucking artists who keep thinking, oh, I'm the hardest nigga around, but then they be spitting shit like, I'll sweep you up like a broom, and then act like that shit hard. Like, bro, you corny as shit. Some of y'all niggas corny, and I'll put that on the grave. And if you think you hard, show me what you got. Don't be on some personal feeling bullshit either, because that shit makes you look weak. I'm just sorry. Like, I understand, and I know you want to be the hardest. I know you want to be out there, bro. But I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Half of y'all niggas need to be humbled. And if you think that you better, then my nigga, step up to the plate. Let me see what you got. Send me your EP. Send me what you got. And I'm going to tell you straight out the gate. Half of y'all niggas would not beat out DMT, Older Rebel, C-Will, Insane, none of the niggas I fuck with. I'm sorry. Half of these niggas go harder than the rest of this city. And sorry to say, if you feel like you better than shit, like I said, put it up to the plate. That's all I'm going to tell you. For real.
I hear you, man. I get it. All right. So... last question. What's next for King Genesis? What's happening?
Well, if you must know, like I said before, I got an EP called Rise coming out. I have no idea when it's gonna drop officially, but I have been working on it. I also got a tour in November and February. I'm doing the tour for November is gonna be kind of like a Texas tour, but the one I'm doing in February is gonna be in different states. So your boy's gonna be out of the city making new, connections and whatnot. Other things is obviously Off the Leash. We trying to drop that pretty soon. We done worked really hard on it. We trying to push that out, and we gonna get a lot of people bumping our shit. So yeah, I mean, as far as anything else new, that's pretty much it. Me and my team are gonna come through and kill that shit.
And if anybody has a problem with that, just tell them I came here to dominate.